Hey everybody, this is Ashley with Publish with Ashley, and I am excited to be here today. Sorry, I'm a few minutes late. Homeschooling with children. I was like trying to get everything done, and people were coming in and out, and it just didn't happen. So I was a minute late, but that's okay. Anyway, so today, what I wanted to talk about was how I made over $12,500 in 1 month of this last month in December. Hey Donna, how are you? So that's my topic today, and I wanted to tell you about it and what I do and how I do it and that sort of thing. Kind of some of my lessons learned, and yeah. So let me show you. Let me show you proof. I know everyone's like, "Oh, I want proof." Let's see if I can share my screen. I have a screenshot. Let's see that one. All right. Maybe. Hey, Emily. Okay. It's saying it's going to share, but it's not doing anything. It's thinking very hard about it. Hopefully you can hear me. Anyway, so while it's thinking about sharing, that's really obnoxious. Hey, Peter. And I can see you guys on YouTube and Facebook. That's really cool. It's not going to do it, apparently. Can you guys hear me, see me? Am I talking to myself? I hope not. Let me know in the comments if you can't see me or hear me. No, come on. Okay, well, I'm glad because it's totally not working for me. Okay, I'm glad you can see me. All right, I'm sorry, those who are watching on the replay. I'm going to just talk and continue on, and hopefully let me know if something happens. Okay, good. All right, so if this is the first time you've been here, hi, I'm Ashley. I kind of said that, but you can check out my website, publishwithashley.podia.com. You can check out my Facebook group. If you're already in it, it's free. And there'll be links on the bottom of the show notes. You can check out all this. And on my YouTube channel, if you're already watching or you're watching on my YouTube channel, like, subscribe, do all that sort of stuff. Okay, so how did I do it? This is so annoying. I'm so sorry. I can't. Okay, I'm glad you guys can see me. Hey, Mohammed. Hey. Okay, so Donna's asking, share how long you've been creating books and what led you to reach that amount. Okay, yep, doing all that. Okay, so, gosh, I'm sorry. This is so distracting because it's saying it's not responding and I can't do anything with my screen. It's like frozen, but you guys can still see me. How did I do it? I've been publishing books on Kindle Direct Publishing on Amazon, and Amazon publishing platform KDP is a fantastic opportunity. I love to share this opportunity with people. It is the ability to publish books on Amazon for free, basically, and they do all the shipping. They do you just kind of create the digital files, put them on Amazon, and once they're approved, Amazon does the rest, and you just get royalties. There's no shipping of books. There's no printing of books. None of that. That is all Amazon. So it's a fantastic opportunity because you can publish these books for free. And you're thinking, books, do I have to write something? You can write, that's a yes and no. You can write fiction or nonfiction or workbooks, but there's also things that are what they consider low content or no content, or even what I consider medium content. And I'm sorry, I get distracted that I can't do anything. Okay, I'm sorry. But you can publish low content, no content books like journals, notebooks, blog books, sketchbooks, prompt books, activity books, coloring books, all sorts of stuff. Most of mine that are doing really well, so I know this is what you guys want to know, most of mine that are doing really well are activity books, detailed prompt books, and I have a few notebooks that do really, really well. Hey, Mike. So the notebooks, the activity books and detailed prompt books, I would consider low to medium content being my own kind of definition, saying that it's more than just, a few words. It's, pictures or details, or, sometimes I'll have something describing something or an activity. It's something that takes, a while to create versus maybe a low content logbook, where you just have a few different types of logs, and it's kind of repeated over and over again. So medium content, I think of as like different pages have different activities. Happy New Year, Ellie. All right, so the best mine are activity books, detailed book, prompt books, and notebooks. Okay, so here is my advice, and I'm going to go through kind of your question, Donna, as far as how many years and all that kind of goes through that. I'm going to kind of, give you my story here. Treat this like a business. My number one thing is treat this like a business. Any business you're going to put up. So if you were going to put, let's say, $5,000 to start a business, and you're going to put $5,000, then you're going to want to put effort, time, and money. If you're going to put the money down, you're going to want to put time and effort and work into it. You're not just going to say, oh, I'm going to spend $5,000 and do nothing. Just because the Amazon KDP opportunity is free does not mean that it is no work. It does not mean that it's not a business. It doesn't mean that you have to put time and effort into it. You need to, like any business, you need to continually learn. You need to be flexible. You need to do what all entrepreneurs do, which is pivot. Okay. If it's working, do more of it. Okay. If it's not working, stop doing that and try something else. Okay. So you have to be willing to do the work. You have to be willing to stop doing things, even though you spent time, creating. I know a lot of people who create like 1,000 books or whatever, and they're like, they're not selling. Well, those were your 1,000 books of learning experience that didn't sell. So stop doing that and do something else. Change your niche, change your idea, change the thing that you're doing to, and just keep trying things in a logical, organized manner. You have to do research to see what is selling and that doesn't have a huge amount of competition, or something that maybe the market needs or wants, but isn't there, or there's not a lot of it there. And that takes time. Okay, so let's do a few questions here. Posting pricing for other countries. Okay, so let's see. What do you mean? Emily asked, what do you mean in detail? Like, what detailed things do I have? Like a prompt book. If you're going to do a prompt book, it might ask to that, if you're targeting a certain audience, whatever your niche is, whatever your audience is, they have certain questions or certain things they want to understand or know about. And so instead of, just asking kind of generalized questions, you have to do the research into that niche. If it's like memory loss for seniors with Alzheimer's, I don't know off the top of my head a lot about memory loss for seniors with Alzheimer's. I would have to go in and read, some of the reputable websites about memory loss for seniors and Alzheimer's and things that could help, and that sort of detail. You could put some of that info in, and you could put, those activities if you're making an activity book for seniors, stuff like that might be helpful. So it's a lot more detailed than just creating a notebook and crossing your fingers. All right. Let's see. I can't, my screen is frozen. This is so annoying. I can't scroll back up. So the next one I can see on the comments is from Facebook user. I just found you December. Can you help or refer me to an old post on pricing for other countries? Research into that specific country, what the pricing is. I'm kind of lazy and I just let it, since I put it in the US, I let it go to whatever it wants to get me a similar royalty. Amazon will just guess to get you a similar royalty. But if I know something about the pricing, I will go in and individually change. You can go in on the marketplaces under pricing and click like other marketplaces, and you can individually change the pricing. 95, 99, 0.99 or whatever, it does sell pretty well. So you can fiddle with that. And I'm not sure what post you're referring to, but that's kind of what I do. Yes, you've got to treat it like a business and record all your income, expenses, and taxes and all that stuff. That is very true, Mike, and that is a good thought. The great thing about KDP is at the end of the year, they by January 31st will send you your statement that everything is rolled up, so that at least you can see what your royalties are. And that's what for the U.S. that's what they're going to report to the IRS. And that's what they're going to report to your tax agent, whatever you have and you've put in your tax income. But you want to keep track of, your expenses, so that if you are going to do an itemized tax list, then you have to keep track of your expenses. I do mine on a spreadsheet, an Excel sheet. It's not a very complex thing. It's pretty simple. Let's see. All right. Do you realize organic search, or do you market your low content books? Marketing. And we're going to talk about that. That's actually my third point. And then marketing or advertising new books to see if they take off first. Do you have simple software? I don't have anything other than paint.com that I know of that works on a Mac. That's a good question. I'm not sure. Is anyone a Mac user and knows of like a simple editing program? I thought paint.net had a Mac version. I could be wrong about that. But I thought they did, but maybe not. But if anyone has a Mac and knows a simple editing program, let us know. Okay. Ooh, we're going to have lots of marketing questions. Okay. You have a lot of questions. Can you talk about Etsy, that I can publish there the same book, or they are not in printing? Okay, I'm going to try. This is going to be very annoying if I can't actually move up. I'm hoping this won't cut off. If it is, I will be back. I can't do anything. It won't let me get out of here at all. I'm completely stuck. And they close that and that. And okay, I'm sorry. Okay. It's showing me twice. Okay, remove me. There. Okay, I'm so sorry. Thank you. I'm so sorry. Now I can scroll. It was stuck. It was so annoying. I couldn't do anything. So sorry for the short break. Okay. Okay. I'll go back to all the advertising questions. Let me see if there's anything else. And Etsy. Remind me, Emily, if I don't go back to Etsy. Try paint.net, not paint.com. Paint.net. I thought there was a Mac. Okay. Oh, and Wendy has Pixelmator Pro. Is that the one that's an online one? I know there's an online one, but I haven't used it. And I just saw a suggestion on someone else's. Okay. Number 2. I got to number 2. Okay. I am not an overnight success. Okay. So let me give you my background. I've been doing publishing on KDP for 5 years. 5 years, not 5 months, not 5 days, 5 years. Okay. For the first 2.5, 3, I was doing fiction and nonfiction. It was good. It started out, I made like 50 whole dollar. No, I think I made $5 or something like that my first month, like five whole dollars. And then I got to a point where I was making like 100 or 200. And then I got to a point where I was making about 800 a month. And getting past 1,000 was really hard, because when you're doing fiction, at least at the time, this was a few years ago, it was all about, make a series and keep putting a book a month. And that's the best way to advertise, is to write a book a month. Have you ever tried to write a 50,000 word book in a month? It is hard. I did about 5 of them, and 5 months, I was an insane person and I hated my entire life. I was making like $800 a month, but I just couldn't do it. I have 4 kids. I have 2 businesses to run. I'm a reservist in the Air Force. I liked sleeping just a little bit, just more than 4 hours a night. And so I couldn't do that. And so, like anything in a business, what's not working, right? You have to pivot. You have to change. I said, okay, this is not going to work for me. I can't do this any longer. And so even though I think I was kind of at the point where success was just over the corner, like I knew I was about there. I had my email list with 1,000 people. I'd done everything everyone said. I couldn't do it any longer. And so I decided to go back to low content books. They were advertising, a lot of people were doing coloring books at the time. It was when the coloring book phrase kind of started to, it was a few years ago, but when it was getting a little bigger and people were talking about it. And I was like, oh, I don't think I can do coloring books. I was like, I don't know how to design covers. I don't know how to design interiors. I can write a book and then purchase a cover, but designing it all, that was really kind of outside my wheelhouse. It was scary, right? I was scared. And so I decided but I was like, I'm going to do this, because I can't be writing a book a month. I can't do this. So I jumped into low content, and I started out like everybody else with notebooks. And I'd have to say my notebooks were bad. Probably about 200 of them, 300 of them, very bad. I tried everything where everyone's like, oh, just put a thing on the cover, do this. And I started out with what everybody tells you to do. And I was frustrated because I got errors, and I was so frustrated. So I finally decided to buckle down and learn like what bleed meant, to learn, what my margins, to learn how to calculate my own sizing, I learned how to do it rather than just relying on tools and crossing my fingers and hoping they worked, and then not understanding why I was getting an error. So that's why you'll see me do a lot of my stuff in PowerPoint. I was doing stuff in Canva and various places, but I got so many errors. I was so frustrated. So I sat down and learned it. I learned how to do it. And it's not actually that complex. You have to learn some things, and you have to do a little bit of math and that sort of thing. But you have to learn the basics, learn the terminology, learn what everything meant. Otherwise, you're just going to be frustrated, like I was. So I learned it. I went and kind of, watched YouTube videos. KDP itself, KDP University, has YouTube videos, has videos on their site. I watched those super boring videos because a lot of them are very boring, but I watched them. Okay. Hey, Priscilla. Okay. So I did that. Okay. And then, I started to get to, 800 a month, and then 1,000 a month, and then 2,000 a month. So it was a slow process over the next 2.5 years, where I was not an overnight success. I would have to say that my success is because I was too stubborn to quit. I was too stubborn to, stop doing this. I could see other people succeeding, but I was like, why am I not succeeding? Why me, right? Stop comparing yourself to other people. I'm showing you this 12,500 to show you that it's possible, and that you could be one of those superstars who works, 12 hours a day and does this in 2 months. Or you could just hit on a niche because you have some unique background right away, and, have $100,000 a year income. But if you're if you're like me and it just takes you a while to get there, it just takes you a while. I say I do this full time, and I do in the sense that I make a full time income, but I don't work at this 8 hours a day. I imagine if I worked 8 hours a day for 5 years, I would be way more successful than I am now. But I work at this in sprints. I work at this. I'll talk about a course I just have coming out. I spent 3 days like solid trying to do it, and then I probably won't touch a lot of that for 2 weeks. So I'll work in sprints. I'll create a book for 3 weeks, and then I won't do anything for 2 months. Well, not probably that long, probably 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So I kind of start and stop. So I make a full-time income, but I'm not consistently working at this 8 hours a day. Okay. Oh, work call. Bye, Mike. You can watch the replay. Okay, let's see. I don't have anything else on that. Okay, so what I did this year that I think really got me to that 12.5K, I focused on branding. I decided to create a brand. And if you watch any of my YouTube videos from this past year, you can see me start to talk about branding. I created a brand. I tested a few things in the niche, and some were successes, some were not. But I decided to really go for it. Create that website. I have on my website, publishwithashley.podia.com. I have my mini website. It's a mini course for $9 on how to create a quick and cheap, easy website, which totally worked. It really did. I've been collecting email addresses. I'm up to like 50 email addresses just as of in December. So I started with 0 and I've gotten to about 50 now. And I created products around this brand and different products. And now I'm even adding in my merch products. So you've heard of Merch by Amazon. I'm creating pillows and totes and kind of adding it in with this website to for people to purchase off Amazon. It's all off Amazon. Everything redirects back to Amazon for them to purchase. So I don't touch or do anything. But yeah, I would say that my success this year had to do with I took everything I've learned over the past 5 years and finally buckled down and focused it and created the brand, created the email list. I had tested a lot of niches and I found kind of some ones that worked. And then I focused down on those and created a brand. So I think that's what really helped me this year. I did all that testing, the shotgun throw spaghetti at the wall type stuff, and saw kind of what stuck. And then I focused down on that and really doubled down and without promise of reward, right? Without promise of reward on a brand, and then did Pinterest and then ads. Yes. Number 3, one of the reasons I could make this much, everyone's like, oh, but you did ads. Yes, but I did ads smartly. Okay. So I've been working on ads, I think for, 4 or 5 years, 4 years, probably. I've been working on ads and doing badly in the beginning and getting better. So my ads this year, I spent ads are a great way to level up. I want to state that because everyone's like, oh, you did ads. This wasn't organic. That's true and not true. If you can boost your books with ads, they can, obviously get a much higher BSR and thus you get more organic sales. But I'm smart about ads. So I did 12.5K and I spent just over $1,000 on ads. 1,000. That's it. So I still made over $11,000 in profit. Pretty good, right? Okay. And I know how much doing ads really helped me. I know how much learning the process of ads and being conservative as I learned. I made mistakes. I grew. I know ads really did help me, but they aren't like I spent $5,000 to make $12,000. I know a lot of people who spend a lot of money on ads, and their percent of return isn't as good. And it's because I really focus my ads. I spend a lot of time and research in focusing my ads. I probably spend about as much time researching my ads as I do researching for books. So that's something to be said. It's effort, it's time. Okay. So I did, because a friend pushed me, because she's like, you had amazing results. You should create a course on advertising, because I really have good results. So I created a course. It's on publishwithashley.podia.com/ads. They'll be in the show notes, and I'll post it on Facebook, the link. And then I just launched it today, like just hit publish an hour or so before this. It's $49, which I think is a steal. I think I don't know. I spent more time on it than I thought I would. I really got into math. I'm an engineer, so I'm super geeky. I made a whole PowerPoint presentation on math for you, because you have to understand the math, okay? It's money. Money is dollars, right? Numbers. You have to understand math if you want to make money. So it's not complex math, though. I try to really break it down and make it simple, because I used to tutor kids. So I know math can be hard for people. I get that. But I love what math can do for you if you want to, and especially seeing people get it. All right, so I just launched it today, but only for a week till 13 January 2021 at midnight. If you use the coupon AD25, you can get the course for $25, which I think is a total steal. Because it is, I open up my ad. You don't get to see my books. Well, you do on some of my planners, because that's kind of some of my good and mistakes. You'll see it in the course. I'm very open. I will show you, that I show you my ad dashboard, and I walk you through what I did, why I did it, things that succeeded, things that didn't succeed, why my ACoS is high. And if you don't know what ACoS is, like I said, there's a whole module that I explain it. So my ACoS was about, depended exactly what 30-day period you were looking at, but it was about 8% over December, which is fantastic. Okay, 8% ACoS is really, really good. Okay, so I'm just giving it out there. I hate to be pushy with products, but I know ads can make a huge deal, and I know people are scared to do them. So I created this course because I really wanted people to succeed. And they take work. I do want to mention that. I talk a lot about the easy button and the work button. The easy button can make you money, okay? And I talk about the easy button in the course, but it doesn't make you as much money as doing the work. And I literally show you my numbers. I show you how much more profitable doing the work can be, and how much it can really do well. Anyway, okay, so there you go. Ads, yes, I did ads to make my 12.5K, but I did not spend $5,000. I didn't even spend close to that to make $12,500. So I wanted to share that. I wanted to make sure you knew that. Okay, so let me go back to some courses or some questions. Let's see. Okay, I think this is one. Emily. You have a lot of questions. I talk about Etsy. Yes. Okay, so Etsy. What I did, so this is kind of cool. So my brand, I created an Etsy brand of everything that I could move to a printable market. I had a few that were in the 8x5 size books on KDP that I had a hard time sizing correctly to make a pretty printable. I'm sure it can be done, but I didn't want to spend the time to figure it out. Like, I would have had to watch YouTube and read stuff, and I didn't want to do it. So everything that was easy for me to convert to a printable, I converted it to a printable version, and put it on Etsy as a shop, as a printable shop. Everything was printable. I had quite a few people say, hey, can you send me this in book form? And I was like, no, it's all printables, because I wanted to make my Etsy store something that I didn't have to manage. I managed some comments. I've had to do 2 refunds because a few people bought it and thought it was a book, though I have no idea how, since I plastered on every single picture, this is a downloadable PDF. You will not receive anything in the mail, but people don't read. For anything printed on KDP, you can put it over on Etsy as a printable. The only thing you have to watch out for is if you are in Kindle Select, if you're doing the on ebooks, this is on ebooks, you can't offer something else in a digital form anywhere else. So if you had an ebook, and workbooks, printables, low content books really don't work as ebooks. So it's usually not a problem. But if you do have an ebook, you can't put it on Etsy if you're under the Kindle Select program, because that's part of their rules. You can't have a digital version. You could have a print version, and you could. That's fine. They're not going to say that, but it's the digital version. Yes, I just basically took my stuff and put it there. Now, what I did too that was kind of fun is I created a business Pinterest account, and I put these two brands, which was the printable brand on Etsy and the printable and the KDP brand, and I used the same business account on Pinterest to advertise my books, which was another form of advertising, which I highly recommend, and it's free. You can get a Pinterest business account for free and start branding your stuff. And I know I've had clicks. I can see it on Etsy. I've had clicks from my Pinterest account that are actually converting to sales on Etsy. On KDP, it's not as obvious. But as soon as I started putting those pins up, I started seeing sales go up in certain things. So I know it does work, though I can't directly tie it to that. Okay, can you know if someone looked at my book without using ads? No, that is another great thing about ads is they give you data and insight into KDP. So with ads, you can see if people are actually looking at your book, or at least it's getting impressions, right? Otherwise, Amazon's not going to give you that data. Now, the Amazon seller account, I know they do give you some of that data, but not on KDP. Let's see. Okay. About how to convert KDP books into Etsy. Etsy is more into color and KDP. Okay, so yes. So what I do sometimes, I actually designed a few of my books in color, and then I saved them as a black and white PDF to download to KDP, and then I just downloaded the color version to Etsy. Hopefully that makes sense. So like I designed it in mind that I was going to add color in the beginning. There's a few where I just added color to the covers. So like some things, it doesn't, like lines don't necessarily need to be color. So some of that stuff wasn't color, obviously. And then I either designed it intentionally with color, and then I converted it to black and white for KDP. And you can do that. There's several ways. It just depends what you're doing, but you can print to your PDF printer. Usually if you just hit save or print and print to your PDF printer, which I think almost all computers have nowadays, then you can select print in black and white, and that will print it to black and white. Hopefully that made sense. If not, one of these days I should I actually learned it on YouTube. So I could make a YouTube tutorial, but I actually learned that on YouTube. And then like I said, I do take my printable from KDP and then I'll fix it up so that it works on Etsy. Some of that, it just depends upon what it is. Some of it's just having the page once, if it's a repeated page, so they can print as many pages as they want. And then maybe I'll add color or something like that. It kind of depends. I look at what the market's doing around me to decide how I should edit it, but it's the same basis. Okay, let's see. Do you cover how to link for merch in the course? Yes. Yeah. It's once you see the technique in that mini website course, Facebook user, sorry, it just says Facebook user. It tells you, it will make so much sense. All you need is the ASIN. So it makes sense. It's really easy. Let's see. Yes, the ads. Ads are, And you'll see, I show you my dashboard. I did not succeed at ads at first. try again. But hopefully, I made the course so that you wouldn't do some stupid things like me, and that you would understand a little bit better of what you're doing. But it's still going to take, time, effort, and experimentation. That's the same thing with anything. You have to experiment. You have to try. You have to do. I know a lot of you are watching this and you're thinking, oh, okay, but are you doing? Are you actually publishing books? You have to do, not just someday do. You have to actually do. Okay. How do you plan your year? What do you publish? And is there a list for every idea for every month? Oh, month would be so amazing. I have a running list. And then what I do, so all of you who are worried about what should you publish, how should you publish, and shiny object syndrome, this is what I do. I come up with my list of things to do. Okay. So I have this book I want to make, this book I want to make. And then I start looking at, when should I publish it? Like, I have stuff in the outdoors camping type arena. And I say, okay, that's kind of the stuff I should start publishing in latest is like March. So I have 2 books I know I want to create in that niche. And so my deadline is March. So I start organizing things by, what makes sense to publish when. And you want to publish 2 months before the season if you can. That gives it time to get in there. And if the review times are long, that gives you time for that. It also gives you time to get it indexed through Amazon, which takes a little bit. The look inside features, all that. So you want to do 2 months before if you can. And then, so I kind of organize it by that. And then I organize it also by priority. So one of the things I decided to do this year as well was to look at what I could publish for and sell for $12.99, because the $12.99 price point is so nice, because it's like I can't remember, $5.75, $5.73. I don't know. It's $5.25, $5 something anyway. You can make $5. So that's a good deal. So what could I publish for $12.99? And so I tried to think of the things I could do under that. And then I also add that to my priority, in the sense that those things take more time to create, but they have a higher profit margin. And so I put those higher in my to-do list. So I look at, timing. I look at profitability. I look at what's working. If I have something that's already working in a certain niche and I should add to it, I put that in the priority. And then I just create this list and I start going down the list. And I try to create at least 3 items before I reprioritize. Sometimes something, maybe because it's seasonal, I might reprioritize higher if my production is slow, I always have dreams and aspirations of creating stuff faster, and it takes longer because I have 4 kids. So my life revolves around them. Okay. Oh, I can take this off so you can see my face. I'm like hidden, huh? Okay. Sorry. How do I take these off? I don't know. Anyway. Okay. Any other questions? Did I miss anyone's questions? I'm trying to go back up. I think that was most of the questions. Is there anything else anyone wants to ask? I don't think I missed anything. I have kind of a summary. How do I get this off? I think there we go. Ha, I found it. You got to see half of me covered the whole time. That's really obnoxious. Sorry, technology. Okay, so here's the thing that you can do. You can do this. Like, that's what I wanted to convey to you with this live, is that you can do this. This is something KDP Publishing with Low Content Books is something you can do. It might take time and it will take work, and it is not an overnight success story. You will probably not make $12,500 next month. And yes, that's probably a more likely number in December, but that doesn't mean you can't have a fantastic January. I am having a fantastic January, and it is due to my brand. All the people who got Christmas gifts or whatever, I can now see the follow through. I plastered the website and all the books. said, hey, make sure you check out this for other cool products from us. I did all that. I said, hey, make sure you get your free, in this case, it was coloring pages for some of them, and they sign up for my email list. So I am seeing all the fruits of those labors. So my January yesterday was $750. I made $750 yesterday. So January is really good, but it was that I put in the work to create this brand, to do all the things that they tell you to do that you don't have time to do. I did that, and I'm seeing the rewards in January. And I know a lot of people aren't having a great January, but it just because you aren't this year doesn't mean next year you can't. You just got to put in the work before so that you can have a good January. How do you find higher priced items $12.99? Lots of searching. There's no substitute for hard work. You just start going through. The $12.99 ones are generally not just logbooks. They're more on the prompt book style that you have to put, weeks into interior instead of, a day or two. How do you find them? In my other videos, I go to Etsy and I'll look for ideas on Etsy. Because I look under printables, I look under, whatever other stuff is just trending on Etsy. Etsy does a fantastic trending report every single year. They just sent it to me. I haven't even opened it yet. And you can look at what the trends are. And from that, I look at the higher priced items that are selling really well. And what's selling really well on Etsy by reviews. That's like a good way to say it. There's 1,000 reviews. There's probably a lot of people who've purchased that. Etsy doesn't necessarily focus everything on by bestsellers. So if they have a lot of reviews, that's a great way to see if it's selling well on Etsy. And I look there. That's a good idea, just to kind of think outside the box. If you're kind of stuck in your Amazon, I can't find anything on Amazon, we'll search Etsy, search Pinterest. Pinterest has a button where you can click on it that says shop. You put in what you're looking for, and then there's a button on the tab that says shop, and that'll show you everything that's linked to something that has a price on it, like Etsy, Zazzle, lots of other stuff, and that can give you ideas. So that kind of whatever's selling well and is it's got to be a little more complex, but you can look at those sites to see what's out there, and you've got to make a $12.99 product. You can't make a $6.99 product and expect to sell it for $12.99. That's not how it works. You have to put a lot of, I want to call them extras in there. Like I will include extra, coloring pages in the back of a prompt book that are really pretty. I'll include pages in the front that have, ideas to deepen your study of whatever it was. And things I've done, a little bit of research on. So that's kind of one of the ways to find it. But yeah, you've got to do a $12.99 product. You have to have a good product if you want to sell it for that. And here's the interesting thing. So I had a product last December that I got a lot of complaints. They're like, oh, it's just a notebook. And it wasn't just a notebook. But that's what people said. And so this year I added a little bit more, and I kind of opened up what I did with it, and I priced it, instead of at $6.99 at $8.99, and I got a lot less complaints this year because people who pay more seem to complain less. So there's something to note. If you're going to price it higher, I don't know what it is, but I think people who are cheap just want to complain, and people who are willing to pay more just pay more and are happy to pay more. I got a lot less complaints this year, and I priced it $2 higher than previously. Now I did add stuff to make myself feel better that I thought it was worth $8.99. I added the extras and the bonuses, and I had some, downloadable coloring pages that they could go and download, that sort of thing. I added the extras, but I didn't have any complaints this year about it not being good enough. In fact, I got better reviews. So, take that as the grain of salt too. It's interesting what the higher price point demographic and how it works. All right, any other questions? I've been on for almost 45 minutes. Anything else? I am so sorry we had technical problems. I wanted to show you the page, but I think it's on the thumbnail for this. You can see it really tiny. But check out my website, publishwithashley.podia.com. And under courses, it'll show you my how to start KDP publishing if you have no idea how to start KDP publishing. And then there's also the ad courses or ad course as well. And don't forget the coupon, add 25. So you can get it for $25, and that's good for a week. Anything else? There's still a few people. There's 17 people on. So anyone have any other questions? Because if not, I am going to go find my children, see why they're quiet. The links for your course and are they in the notes? They will be. When I go live, StreamYard, it won't let me post my show notes on YouTube until after. And then I just haven't done it on Facebook yet. But I always, after I get off of StreamYard and hit end broadcast, I post everything in there. So it will be. Just give me a few minutes after this closes and it'll be in there. Anybody else? I have a few more people. Hey, people who joined. But if no one else has any questions, then I'm going to see you next Wednesday live. I'm here pretty much every Wednesday. Happy New Year. Oh, yeah, happy 2021, right? This is my first show of 2021. I should have said that. Happy 2021. And the coupon was add 25. So pretty easy. Add 25. AD25. And yeah, it'll be in the notes and all that. All right. Well, I'm so excited that I had you all here. Like, subscribe, do all that cool stuff. And I will see you next Wednesday. I'm going to also put in some put in some videos too of what fun purchases I purchased with my goal was to make 20,000 over Q4, just over 3 months. And I totally blew that out of the water. So I bought myself some fun toys. And so I'm going to show you kind of what I bought. So it'll be fun. All right. And if you guys have questions, let me know, put them in the show notes or put them in comments anywhere. And I'll do lives or answer your question in a recorded video. So, all right. Thanks so much. I'll see you next week. Bye. What was my total? I don't know. You know what, Donna? I don't know. I'll have to get that. I know it was over 20 because I just was so excited once I broke 20 that I didn't care. I was like, I broke it. But I'll find that. Yep, I'll find the total and let you guys know. Okay? Because I don't actually know off the top of my head. I know I got way past 20. I got like 22 and it was like, I don't even care any longer. Yay! So I was happy about that. All right. Thanks. Bye, everybody.